The first fear somewhere in the dark, thousands of years before the first city, a group of humans buried one of their own. But they didn't just bury the body. They weighted it down with stones. They turned it face down into the earth. Because they were afraid it might get back up. That fear is older than you think. Older than writing. Older than farming. Some archaeologists believe evidence of ritual burial stretches back 300,000 years. Long before modern humans, something was already treating death as more than just an ending. By around 45,000 years ago, burials became far more deliberate. Bodies arranged with care. Tools, jewelry, and ochre placed beside them. Objects meant for someone to use on a journey. A journey that wasn't supposed to be over. But if ancient humans believed the dead moved on, why do we also find bodies buried the opposite way? Face down. Pinned beneath heavy stones. Sometimes, deliberately broken apart. Something down there they didn't want walking back out. The bodies that wouldn't rest. Archaeologists have a name for this. Deviant burial. Graves that break every normal ritual, on purpose. Across Europe and Asia, researchers have uncovered skeletons, buried face down into the dirt. Bodies staked into the ground with wooden stakes, or heavy stones placed directly on the chest. Not as punishment. As prevention. The belief was simple, and deeply unsettling. If a person died suddenly, violently, or wrongly, their spirit might refuse to leave. So the living took precautions. Trapped the body face down, so if it woke, it would dig the wrong direction. Weigh it down, so it could never rise. This wasn't rare superstition from one isolated village. These burials appear again and again across completely different cultures who never met, who never shared a language, who somehow arrived at the exact same fear. The first ghost ever written down. Eventually, humans stopped just fearing ghosts in silence. They started writing about them. In ancient Mesopotamia, thousands of years before Rome, before Greece, scribes carved instructions into clay tablets. Instructions for one very specific purpose. How to get rid of a ghost. One of the oldest stories ever recorded, the Epic of Gilgamesh, includes a moment that still feels unsettling today. After his closest friend Enkidu dies, Gilgamesh is visited by his spirit. A ghost, described in words carved almost 4,000 years ago. This wasn't fiction to the people who wrote it. Ghosts were treated as a real, physical danger. Something that needed rules. Rituals. Protection. If a person wasn't buried properly, if they weren't remembered the right way, it was believed their spirit would return. Not to visit. To haunt. Why the fear never left? Here's the unsettling part. This fear didn't fade with time. It spread. Nearly every ancient culture on Earth independently developed some version of the same belief. Ancient Egypt feared restless spirits disturbed from their tombs. Ancient China described hungry ghosts wandering because no one remembered them. Countless cultures buried their dead with rituals designed for one purpose: keep them at rest. Scientists have theories about why this fear is so universal. Our brains are wired to detect patterns, to sense presence even in empty rooms. Grief itself can make the mind feel a person is still nearby. Sleep paralysis, shadows, unfamiliar sounds at night, all of it interpreted through fear. But knowing the science doesn't fully explain it away. Because somehow, completely isolated human cultures, separated by oceans and thousands of years, all arrived at the same conclusion. The dead don't always stay dead. At least, not in our minds. So the next time you feel like something's watching you in the dark, remember this. That feeling is ancient. Older than cities. Older than writing. Maybe even older than us. If you enjoyed this journey into the darker side of human history, don't forget to subscribe for more videos. exploring the mysteries of human evolution, survival, and history. And here's a question for you. Do you believe the fear of ghosts is just in our heads, or did our ancestors know something we don't? Let me know in the comments. If you dare. I'll see you in the next adventure.